Ahoy thar, Legion! Today we are going to be playing the deadly Dovahkiin Shyvana. Shyvana? Another poison ivy problem. Sticking with deadly Dovahkiin. Dova's passive Dragonborn is a flat buff to magic and physical damage resist. Considering this is our first melee character we've played in this series, is 3 episodes enough to start calling this a series? We'll call it a series. Reducing our squishiness as a melee is a welcome boost. All of DD's abilities are free to cost, which I always love to hear. Their only limiting factor is cooldown timers, which get lower with each rank. So everything will not only hit harder, but you'll be able to use them faster too. Double awesome! Of course, we have to show off her dance. Aw, yeah. Actually, her personality does not mesh with her dance at all. From power-hungry to preppy cheerleader, Kinda reminds me of classic WoW Sylvanas, actually. Which, now that I think about it, is pretty close to the name of this champion. Where's that aliens guy from the History Channel when you need him? Anyway, I get the idea that her first ability sets her gloves on fire, so that might look cool dancing. Of course, doing so, I again blow my summoner ability and cause a bunch of pop-ups to appear on screen. Smooth move! And just to add insult to injury, the ability fades a second after I get her to actually dance. Good times. Again, we are alone in the top lane, but so is Jax in the bottom, because Tristana and Ashe are both jungling. We'll see how that works out. Either way, our enemies this lane are Warwick and Shen the Ninja. Anyone remember that guy from YouTube? My favorite episode was the one on bad decisions, where he sold his soul for a green balloon. Leave a comment with your favorite one. Unfortunately, it is a melee matchup, and both AI are quite aggressive, which is exactly how real opponents would actually gain up on you. Difficulties aside, good news! I not only remembered I had them, but I actually used the health potion right away. I was learning! Dova gets a lot stronger with all her abilities unlocked. Only a handful of minutes in and I feel a lot more capable of fending off to attackers. For future reference, picking the third ability Flame Breath first might help early game until you get everything unlocked. You can then stay safe at range with that one. When her ult Dragon's Descent unlocks, I press and nearly kill Shen. It is unfortunate that I didn't get the kill, but I clear the enemy minions and chase both Shen and Warwick away. I was more interested in seeing how her ultimate worked anyway, and it wasn't bad. Plus the recharge rate on it's pretty short. Hey Shen, remember me? We had some fun. I ended up spending my blood money ironically on Ninja Tabis and Tiamat. Didn't have enough for that one though, so I ended up buying 2 rejuvenation beads and a pickaxe. And with that minor boost to damage, look how quickly you can wipe the minions. Hitting like a boss already and not even level 9. Mind you, I'm not even summoner level 5 and have 0 runes in place. This is a bare bones and raw damage as you can get. I was impressed. Getting my Don Quixote on again, I lead the charge on the outer turret and press on to block the minion wave from distracting my friendly creeps. You did get a bit close there, but I think it was worth it. Look at the timing, look at the timing. Boom. I want a bit more survivability to stay fighting and keep churning out the damage without having to back off, so I opt to get lifesteal via Vampire Scepter. I figure that I can always decide if I want to make Ravenous Hydra or something else with it later on. Remember, Legion, it is always good to keep your gold investments liquid. I figured now is about time the team tends to brawl, so I head straight down the middle. One thing I wanted to highlight as this sets the stage is that Dova's second ability not only is an AoE, but a speed boost on demand. It won't break you free of things like Lucian's dash, but situationally I prefer this. I've grown into a fan of the taste of Shen's flesh, and I nearly had it if it were not for Warwick stunning me with his ult. The Dragon Woman has returned. She seeks my life. Run, friend. I will sacrifice myself so that your son may have a father. Go now. Live! My people will know of your actions this day, Warwick. Your name will go on in the... Shen! No, Shen! I must make it back to town. I must warn them of the Dragon Woman's approach. Get off! No! No! I broke off and went to push top, but only a bunch of them showed up, so I bailed. Then they disappeared, and I wanted to let the team know, / get used to using the pings system. But I kind of got confused on what color to use and what direction to go, so it kind of took me a while. Things are falling into place, and Deadly Dova is like a well-oiled machine with scales. The analogy falls apart just about as well as the tower I totally just killed. Ha! At this point it was pretty one-sided, everyone was killing without much issue. With only a handful of levels and the most barest of bones of items, I was Fusro dominating whatever enemies got too close. I highly recommend you guys giving Shyvana a try. I actually think she's a bit overpriced considering how easy she is to use. I'd compare her to a melee version of Ryze, but if you can play her for free in the future, do so. And on that note, turret, inhibitor, turret, and game. Inherently tanky, good mix of abilities, and cooldowns galore give Little Miss Deadly Dova my thumbs up at this time of posting. Here's the ending score sheet to all those number crunchers out there. Not bad, still wasn't what I'd call a great match, but at least I found a really solid champion. And a melee one at that. I usually have bad luck with those guys. Who will we play next time? I suppose you'll just have to wait and get excited then. Thank you for watching, Legion. If you learned anything from this amazing gameplay, or we brought a smile to your face, we'd be honored if you subscribed and liked this video. As always, if you have any questions or suggestions, feel free to leave a comment below. Catch you next time, Legion. Take care.